He approached the throne carefully, dragging one of his hind legs. His queen kept up with her baleful stare until he halted at a respectful distance and sank into an awkward bow. Majesty, report. Her voice was clipped and toneless. Ponyville is lost. He tampered down a cough. She sucked in a sharp breath through her nostrils at what she assumed to be anger. Keeping his head low, he waited for her response. How? The librarian, Twilight Sparkle, coughed a tickle at the back of his throat. Spell, my liege. She cast a spell to dispel illusions. Cast over the whole town from a balloon. It almost made him want to laugh. He had commented to Lyra only last week on how that hot air balloon was a waste when it could be used for the better for the town. He had meant by renting it out to other ponies and their business for advertising. Instead, it had been used to rain down on destruction in glittering pieces of magic. The citizens were all stripped of our disguises. They panicked, mobbed. Only a few of us got out. Where are the others? Captured. He shut his eyes. At least 3 were killed. Twilight Sparkle called for them merely to be restrained. But the crowd, they were out of control. Stampede. The cough exploded from him in a shower of green blood. Without his permission, his body pitched forward and refused to obey when he said to try to rise. He must have faded out for a moment, because the next thing he knew, his queen was cradling his head. He looked up at her, confused. My liege, you mustn't. Shush, she snapped. Lay still. Her horn glowed. He felt warmth running through his body, like it was being in front of a cot of a fire after a day of throwing snowballs with friends. Thoughts of Lyra, Bonbon, Menuik, and Carmel flashed through his brain. The look Lyra had given him when he had changed from right in front of her. Betrayal. Only just covered it. He hoped she hadn't been a part of the mob that cornered him and the other exposed changelings. Lyra put up any front, but she was still a soft soul. It had been so easy of a trip to sip from her love whenever Bonbon came to bring her lunch, or even when he had just got her talking about her mare friend. She would never forgive herself if she thought she was responsible for his Blood splattered his queen's downturned face. A large green globule dropped off her snout. My queen, he said aghast. I apologize. Shh, she said, much softer than before. He felt the warmth inside her prod at his hurts and his cracked carapace, broken horn, and severed leg. He sighed, even though none of them magically fixed themselves. Her horn ceased to glow. The warmth inside him, however, maintained. Drone 23345. What name did you go by your placement? His vision blurred. Noteworthy, my queen, he said with difficulty. I posed as a stallion called Noteworthy. She gently touched her forehead to his. She felt her love flow over him, threw him into filling him up. He realized with absolute clarity just how much she cared beneath her icy interior. She loved all changelings with a deep, abiding emotion, and at this moment, this single crystalline moment, she loved him most of all. You did well, Noteworthy, she murmured. You deserve to rest now. My... Rest, dear Noteworthy. With a happy sigh, he closed his eyes and allowed the darkness to claim him. Package for you, Derpy trilled. Miss Hoots. Rarity stepped out daintily off her doorstep. While I appreciate the early morning wake-up call, on top of the sterling service you and the Equestrian Royal Mail provide, she lit her horn. Would it be possible not to have it come at the expense of my mailbox for once? Derpy giggled. Yeah, sorry about that. I swear I don't even know how this happens. Rarity sighed, gently pushed the Pegasus backwards to free her hand from the misshapen mailbox. It's a mystery for the ages, darling. Derpy's head had came out with a loud pop. Now you say you have a package for me? Uh-huh. Derpy held out aloft, all the way from the Crystal Empire. Rarity's heart nearly stopped. Keep your voice down. She cleared her throat, and the better to rid herself of that panicked hiss, and continued. It's very early in the day, darling. My neighbors may still be in a bed. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Derby held out a brown paper wrapped box. It's a bit rattly. I hope I didn't break anything. Her ears drooped. You won't tell my supervisor if I did, will you? I could totally fly to the Crystal Empire and replace whatever it is. I just really, really need this job. No, thank you. That won't be necessary. Rarity accepted the box and trotted back inside with all speed. Well, I won't keep you. Have a nice day. Huh? Oh yeah, totally. Have a nice... At the end of Derpy's sentence, was lost behind the slam of the door. Rarity shot the bolt home, just in case Thank Heaven Sweetie Belle wasn't visiting this weekend. Rarity loved her sister, but there was no more curious fool in all in Equestria. She would ask many questions upon questions upon questions, and this was something Rarity could not face questions over, mainly because she didn't want to think about the answers. With a quick efficiency, she removed the brown paper bag and then gift wrap beneath. The little box was 11. It creaked slightly as she opened it. Inside, a bracelet of exquisitely cut gems glittered the early morning light. Beneath, catching her throat, she had read the small piece of paper folded up and twined beneath it on a small black cushion. Still thinking about you. Looking forward to the next time you visit. We'll be at the Crystal Catwalk Week next month. Hope you're competing. Those dressing rooms are more soundproof than guest rooms in the palace. She had held a bit of paper to her chest, where it wrinkled in the tightness of her grip. Her whole body underwent a powerful ache that had her biting her lip. It was wrong. She knew it was wrong. He was a married stallion, and a father to boot. This whole thing should have been ended months ago, when Cadence first told him about the foal. No, it should have ended after their first unexpected hurried encounter into her workroom, the night before his wedding, when they could have put it all down to Chrysalis messing with his mind and jumbling up in his thoughts, so he didn't know what he was doing. But it hadn't, and it wouldn't. She had submitted her entry from the Crystal Catwalk Week. The moment was announced. Oh dear, she murmured, trying her best to dispel memories of slab muscles pressed against her back and hot breath in her ear. Whispering her name was something between happy sigh and a heart-rending sob. The note levitated into the air. It incinerated, and the ash dropped neatly into the trash can, hovering beneath. She placed it on the corner and snapped the jewelry box shut, tucking it under her dressing gown pocket. She went to get ready for the day like everything was perfectly normal, and didn't have the power to bring down the royal family kept in line of 11 boxes beside her drawer. And then, do you know what she said at the gal said to me? Do you know what she had to the sheer gal to say to me? No. She told me I was a hack. That has been. That's no good. No account layabout trailer. Trash dag. Call me a hack. And then she fired me. I mean, I ask you, is that fair? Nope. Fancy. Sven Gallop pushed away the face burrowing against his neck. It is incredibly hard to throw a hissy fit with you nuzzling me all the time. Fancy Pants drew back, the tip of the loosened cravat between his teeth. It fluttered down like gossamer when he spoke. That's rather the idea, old bean. His glasses were on nightstand, but his eyes glinted just as much without them. Nevertheless, not to be deterred from his own curiousness, Sven Gallop fondled his forelegs and grumped. You always try to shut me up with sex. You've never complained before. I always had the job before. You'll get another one. Not of that caliber. Do you know how hard I had to work to create the countless from that so's ear? She smelt of dirt and chewed on hay when she talked when I first met her. But I saw her potential, and I nurtured it. I worked my flank off for her. Rather a sumptuous flank it is, too. Fancy! What is it? You're not taking me seriously. With a resigned sigh, Fancy Pants sat back on the mattress. His name slewed sideways, covering half of his face in a very rakish fashion that would have had all the mares in Canterlot High society swooning at the hooves. Too bad he would jump over them to reach the stallion on the other side. Then I apologize if you think I do not care about this, but from my perspective, you shed a dead weight. Coloratura had already clearly run her course. By this time of the next year, her album will be in a bargain bin of music. Stores will be everywhere, and you'll have a new client who will be much more grateful and deserving your talents. Sven Gallop averted his face solemnly. Remember the undoling rocks? Yes, came the grunted reply. And the creepy crawlies? Yes. And Taylor Fastfoot? Yes. You still managed to snag No Pony from nowhere and turned her into a star bigger than all the previous clients combined. You'll be able to do it again. You've got the gifts, Sven. And I've seen you fall down like this and then pick yourself up again. It's just one of those things I admire most about you. You do? Sven Gallop returned to him in surprise. Fancy Pants nodded. I wish I had your tendency. I'll be the first to admit I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I never really had hard work for anything. I first went to the finest schools and had the finest clothes and attended the finest parties and met the finest ponies that none of it had impressed me because I didn't have to work for it. You, on the other hoof, his smile quirked, one half of his mouth shut in a way that intimately photogenic. You I had to work for. You couldn't give me the time of day when we first met. You were a challenge. I wasn't used to it. And the more I got to know you, the more I realized you weren't just a challenge for me. You were a challenge for the whole world. No matter how many times it tries to know you down, you just won't stay down. That's very, very attractive. You never said any of this before. Fancy smiled, faltered for a second. Well, I've never had the cause to. He coughed in his hoof. I didn't want you to think you were just another one of my content quests. Oh, pish-posh. Sven Gallop rolled his eyes. The notches on your bedpost as fictional as Fleur's eyelashes. Fancy chuckled. Now, keep the bitching for when you see her tomorrow for dinner. Or actually don't. She's bringing a new beau, and she'll have my guts regardless if I allow you to show her up. You don't have to allow me to do anything. I am my own Celestia damn pony. Thank you very much. The smile solidified again. See what I mean? Such a challenge. He growled slowly under his breath. The conversation dissolved quickly after that. Like gossamer taking wing, the cravat drifted into a softly cover and the eyelashes on the stand. The jacket that followed knocked over the light, which fell to the floor with a thump. Neither stallion was in such position to care for that moment. Later, however, Sven Gallop rubbed it all around in the dark to find the switch on. Where are you going? Fancy Pants asked from under the sheets. To fetch a penknife. Excuse me, what for? I'm carving a notch on your bedpost. What does it look like to you?
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.